Meetings and more meetings. Nowadays, meetings can feel more like an obstacle to getting our work done than something that's purposeful. So, how do we make meetings more effective and compelling? Hi, I'm Sanyin Siang, and I write the Coaching for the Future Forward Leader column in MIT Sloan Management Review. And there, I draw my experiences as an executive coach and advisor to top leaders to answer questions from you and help prepare you to be the most effective and best leader that you can be. So, how can we make meetings more effective? Well, there's so many wonderful advice pieces that are out there that address meeting tactics. But I want to give you something a little different. Instead of thinking about meetings only as vehicles for productivity, what if we also think about them as opportunities for human connection? What if we also make trust building the goal of every meeting? So what do I mean by that? Think about it. We're dealing with hybrid and remote work. We're in an era where there's so many communications tools. So what can we do differently in the time that we're together that we can't via email or Slack or text or any other communications medium? It's about building that emotional connection and doubling down on what makes us human. For example, when you're in a decision-making type of meeting, you are committing to a course of action. But what if you are also discussing the human consequences of that decision for the entire team, organization, and society? In the brainstorming and problem-solving meetings, what if you get to play a little? Think about inviting others to be more imaginative and actually also be a little bit more vulnerable in sharing what may seem like outlandish ideas. And then using that as an opportunity to dive into learning more about their perspectives and lens. And even for those sometimes dreaded information sharing meetings, guess what? You can build in opportunities to celebrate wins, or even the space and the trust for your team to invite help from each other on things that they're struggling with. By helping your team build connections with each other, you're also able to scale you. You can then cease to be the singular go-to problem solver, but everyone is now taking ownership in thinking about opportunities and also ownership in addressing challenges. By helping your team build more connections with one another and build that trust, guess what? You're also creating the opportunity for you to scale you. Because when they are sharing in the problems and they're also together all looking at opportunities, you cease to become the singular go-to person for opportunities and problem solving. You're creating shared ownership in really tackling the mission and the vision and the objectives. And you can also create moments in your meetings for reflection. We struggle with finding time for individual reflection. Think about how rare it is that we are finding time for that collective reflection when we're bringing people together. And in that time, it can be asking them to share a moment that they felt tremendous gratitude for this past week, or an inspiration moment. It can also be for you to share something that you find special about that person, or invite each other to share something that they thought was just spectacular about their teammates. When you're creating those time for reflection, you're able to help each other reveal more who they are and relate to one another as human beings. So, in planning your next meeting, don't just focus on the accomplishment agenda. Think also about the emotional agenda. When you do this, you may discover that not only more gets done for you and your team, but you're also more energized. In fact, You might even look forward to your next meeting.